meat and curry, I'm your man. Cause how we all lose it is a mystery. It's like the changing of our wardrobes from a dire history. But it's the one making us not stop. 50 kilograms is all we've got to drop. La 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 la, la 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 la.
Good afternoon to this week's 50 kg drop with me, Ian Wellman and Taylor Ellsworth. This is a little pre-episode introduction that I thought I'd do because, as you may have heard from last week's podcast, we've teamed up with someone called Mike from sugaraddict.com to go into this year with a different mind frame. And let me give you the backbone to that. I started the 50 kg drop 2 years ago off the back of 2 or 3 years of unsuccessful dieting. And what I mean by that is that actually there was probably a lot of successes in there. However, nothing seemed to fit, nothing seemed to last. And truth be told, I was constantly yo-yoing, and there seemed to be a pattern. Every time I was injured, I'd gain weight, and then it would take me longer to get that weight off, etc., etc. Over the last 2 years, we've had tons of advice from people, and all of that advice has been sound and really has worked. In particular, we followed Brian O'Keefe's 2,200 calories at the start of last year, and I lost a whopping 13 kilograms. Bob lost 16 kilograms. I think Taylor lost the same, and that carried on to a further 10 kilograms the next month in February also. And if we carried on that for the rest of the year, I have no doubt in my mind we would be in incredible shape. However, none of us did. And that then resulted in us trying to go out on our own, and all of our kind of reward metrics of doing well for a short period of time kicked in, which then left us in a place where we were trying to chase our old lives again. Which comes to what happened throughout the rest of the year. The rest of the year for me was just maintenance. I stayed at the same weight all the way up until December. And December, I completely lost my head, drank every single day, and ate everything I could get my hands on. And the reason why I did that is because I found the whole of last year completely miserable while I was constantly worried about weight loss, constantly worried about what I was putting in my mouth, and constantly beating myself up knowing that the 2,200 calories worked in January. Why don't I just go back to that? And I was in this vicious cycle of just living my life constantly lying to myself, knowing that that's what I should have done when I didn't do it, which in my mind was no way to live. So I got to December. I said that I was going to take 3 months off the drink between September and the end of the year. That finished. I successfully got over that line. And then I thought, you know what, let's actually start living life again. And that's exactly what I did. And I drank pretty much every day in December. And my joy, happiness, and everything came back. I felt back in myself again, back alive again. During that time, we had a conversation with someone called Mike. And Mike sent us an email to be a guest on our podcast. And I had a long chat with Mike prior to the episode around what he does. And what Mike is a full-time coach now and owns a company called sugaraddict.com. And he was basically explaining to me that my reward metrics and this metrics of wanting to treat myself once I've done something right all stems from how I would have been brought up, to the very early years of my life, and it's systemically ingrained into my brain. And he's a strong believer that sugar's the biggest problem to all of this. And personally, I've given up cigarettes. I can give up alcohol whenever I can, whenever I want to, for long periods of time. And I've beaten all kind of addictions that I've had in the past, gambling, loads of other stuff as well. And I think he hit the nail on the head for me. And with that, it was from a very early age, I was kind of constantly chasing attention or approval. And that approval usually meant some sort of sugary treat that came into me. And if I think back to all of my dieting and all of my kind of years of battling weight gain, weight loss, and the likes, I will do a short period of time, 3 months maybe, and that 3 months will be miserable. I'll lose loads of weight. I feel great. And then I'm drinking 15 pints or eating every chocolate bar under the sun because that's me patting myself on the back. And when you get to adult stage, you've got kind of a much bigger budget to go and eat that sort of stuff, which then falls into this camp. So what he was saying to me was actually resonating quite a lot. And we've signed up with him this year to truly learn how to do this, but also try and reprogram our brains. I don't think that I personally have been able to control my brain. I think I did a good job at losing 16 kilograms and keeping it off for a year. But a guy of my size really shouldn't be doing that. So, what you'll hear over the next few weeks is snippets of the actual live therapy sessions that Taylor and I are having throughout the no sugar kind of 90 days that we've signed up to. And the reason why it's 90 days is because that's the kind of length of their first kind of introduction to this. In that time, I've pledged that I will never touch sugar and I will follow the guidelines and guidance of sugaraddict.com and Mike and the No Sugar Nation. And what I want to do is document how I feel and what I'm doing. And for anyone that's slightly interested, hopefully that could be some good content that might actually help some other people as well, or be an interesting guinea pig to them. In the past, I have done keto. I have done the Dukan diet way back when, which again had very good short-term gains, but I couldn't live with the kind of meat sweats and this sort of stuff. And from my brief introduction into Mike's world, they've got answers to all of this sort of stuff. And he's coaching us through all of this, even though it's just been 3 days, it's there. So this episode is very much the first kind of understanding where me and Taylor are. And hopefully over the next few weeks, you can really understand our journey. We'll be doing this for 90 days. And I hope that everyone can get some benefit from the content that we're doing. But we are literally guinea pigs into the no sugar world. And yeah, hopefully this works. In my mind, I feel good about this, but I've also felt good about a lot of diets in the past. So let's see how we get on. But yeah, there will also be some content on Instagram. Keep up with Instagram because that'll be going through some of our kind of weekly updates of how we're feeling, what we've done this week, and the kind of symptoms behind everything. But I'll move on to Taylor and me. Let's get started, and he'll jump.
Okay.
I think, yeah. How you been?
I've been well. Things are going good, you know. I'm moving back to Florida, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Whereabouts in Florida?
Tampa.
Tampa. We got an office in Tampa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had a few friends relocate to Tampa, so
Oh,
yeah, I haven't been out there, but yeah, seems like a good place.
that's great. Nice place, actually. I like Tampa. I was there many years. I came out here after. So kind of excited about that. How you
Nice.
feeling? How's everything going?
Yeah, much better this week. All of the strange symptoms have passed, bar kind of losing. Is it losing my appetite or losing? The cravings are definitely gone. They've been gone for a while, but it's more losing the want to eat meat. I'm like feeling a bit over it, if you see what I mean. It's hard to explain. It's like where I felt quite ill off certain things. My brain's telling me that I can't eat certain things, and I'm kind of putting it down halfway through, like I can't face it, which is
Yeah.
a weird symptom. But I'll let Tay talk because he's back. So
Hello, Mike.
What's up, my friend?
Good, you?
I'm well. How you feeling?
Feel better now? Yeah, I was like proper. I was on the ropes last week. I thought I was going to die, but lasted probably 4 days, I reckon.
Okay.
And then new lease of life from Saturday onwards again.
Okay, good.
But yeah, no, that was a rough last week. That one.
That's just that's a detox. That's what that is.
felt like it didn't feel anything similar to a cold or flu, but it felt worse in most ways. Like the nausea, dizziness, like I was just constantly feeling sick and like couldn't look at something for too long. So I'd just start feeling like I was gonna faint. I came to work and came straight home from work when I got in because I literally was sitting there just feeling like I was gonna pass out, and it was like I was battling that for like 4 days really. But
I love it. I love it.
oh,
That's
I
good.
didn't love it. You can
It's
love
not,
it. I hated
it's
it.
not fun when you're in it, but it's another level now. It really is. It's the body like just kicking into gear, you know?
Yeah, but I came out of it feeling great again. Feel pretty nice. So
Yeah.
there was no cravings or anything. I just stopped eating really for that 4 days. I was having like one meal a day, and I was literally maybe not even that. Some days I think I fasted for 2 days at one point, or 32 hours at least, because I just was feeling too sick to eat. And then everything that I was eating, I was just eating just for sustenance. Really, I was just trying to put something in. Yeah, now I'm back to normal. Now I'm like eating a bit more regularly, like one meal a day kind of thing.
Right. Did you drink a lot of water?
Tons of water. I'm probably maybe even too much, like 4.5 liters a day I'm drinking at the moment.
All right.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I was getting recommended like, oh, I should take supplements and things like that, but I haven't took anything. But people were saying that maybe you've got issues with that. I didn't really listen to them, but yeah, don't really know. I just put it down to the detox thing, similar thing to what Ian went through, but mine was sort of completely different. His was more of a flush out. Mine, like from his bum and that. Mine was more of like just felt like I was gonna die.
Right.
I had that stomach pain though, like unbelievable stomach pain.
Mine weren't a stomach pain. Mine was like constant sick and dizziness and faint. I felt honestly, I stood up every single time. I thought I was like that feeling just on the brink of passing out. I just had it constantly. Like thought I was going to pass out all the time.
It's like I'm not like enjoying your suffering, but I'm really enjoying that you're getting the reaction, that this is it's really it's positive, very positive, very positive.
Yeah, so that was me. Sorry, I
I
didn't turn
don't
up
know,
last week.
you may have another ebb and flow, but that might be the worst of it, I hope. Fingers
Fingers,
crossed.
fingers crossed. What's it called? Ebb and flow.
Yeah, it's the same.
Well,
Oh,
the detox doesn't ever hit you all at once. It's kind of ebbs and flows a little bit where
oh yeah,
sometimes it's like that, and then you feel, a little pink cloudish for a while, you feel good, and then all of a sudden it's again, and that the body's like, again, it's just the toxins are in the fat and they're now in the bloodstream to get out. And that's all it was really. Now you got most of them, you got a level of them out.
yeah.
So,
And the positive thing out of it all is I felt that, and I still didn't have any cravings or anything. I didn't
right.
even come close to breaking any sort of the sugar or caffeine or anything. So it
Good.
was a positive outcome of a situation.
Did you get a lot of sleep too? Were you able to?
During that period, I didn't. I was
Really?
struggling to sleep in that.
Okay.
Now I'm sleeping fine. 8 to 10 hours still now, so it's pretty good.
Good. Okay. Well, this is good. This is good. So I think you guys are really doing well physically. How about emotionally? Like anything coming up? Anger, loneliness, fear, worry, anxiety, anything?
I have noticed if I don't eat, the temper goes.
Mm.
Yeah, I had a huge Barney with a client last week who deserved it, but there was no filter. I think the exact quote was, "You need to stay in your lane" from their part, and I wasn't having that. So I, yeah, decided to give him both barrels, and it still feels good now. So I'm not regretting that. It might have just been like a lack of control, but I definitely would have been a little bit more consultative before. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling. The only thing is that I'm not really eating all day. I'm kind of bored of meat, and I'm a bit like, is it bored? It's like a
Recovery is boring a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure boring is the right term. It's like I'm a bit like off it, if you see what I mean. It's where I felt ill, which I thought was from certain foods.
Mm,
My brain's like, oh, you can't be eating that again. And then I'll have like one or two bites, and I feel a little bit like I'm going to gag, and then I
mm.
just stop eating.
I've got that as well though. I feel bored of eating. Like I'm not eating anymore because I want to eat. I'm eating because I sort of have to.
Yeah,
Like, I can't be bothered to eat sometimes. I'm just like, it doesn't do anything for me at the moment, the food.
yeah. And the weight's like flying off. I'm 16 kilograms down, nearly.
Well,
So
nice.
32, 34 pounds, something like that.
Yeah. Taylor lose weight during that little 4-day episode?
I haven't been weighing myself, to be honest, Mike. I'm fitting in clothes. I can sense I'm losing weight. I just get in bad mindsets when I weigh myself constantly.
Good.
Yeah.
Throw it away. You don't need it.
No, if I weigh myself and it's a good number, it helps me. It makes me feel like I'm done, and then I'll pull off it. If I weigh myself and it's not what I was expecting, then I get pissed off, and it makes me think, what's the point of doing it? So, if I just don't weigh myself, I'm sort of probably in a better mental space.
Right. Well,
That's
regarding the eating not feeling, necessary, hopefully, and this is a process you have to watch, but it should evolve pretty rapidly, is that, you're not eating for emotional gratitude, or you're not eating for escape, or you're not eating to numb, and you're eating for sustenance. And this is the whole living in process concept. It's like, you eat for sustenance. Yes, you should enjoy it. Eventually you'll get back to enjoying it and craving the sustenance that's good for you. But there's a whole reconfiguration of why, how you eat, what you eat, happening. So, let it happen, and pay attention to the signals the signals will change too. Where you'll feel hungry will change. Definitely hunger a lot of times doesn't really, I mean, it's never going to be, again, fingers crossed, this ravenous from the stomach, I got to eat, hangry kind of feeling. Um, it's going to just be a gentle, I could eat, whatever, or I could not eat, this idea that both of you have gone times without eating will be a new sensation, a different sensation. So, just start paying attention to it, maybe writing it down a little bit as it changes. So don't worry about it either.
yeah.
So it's birthday season for me at the moment. So it's my birthday today. It's my wife's birthday on the 20th. It's my nephew's birthday coming up, which basically
Congrats.
means that there's loads of, and my father-in-law's birthday. There's loads of like meals out and that sort of stuff. But I was at a meal out on Sunday, and
Hey.
we ordered yeah, I love that. We ordered do you get Sunday roasts? Do you know
Yeah,
what a Sunday roast is? It's like meat, veg,
yeah.
Yorkshire puddings, that sort of stuff. So I just ordered the meat, just meat. There was chicken, pork, and beef on that plate. Fine. The chicken was definitely cooked in something though. I could taste the garlic on it, but it was so small. I just thought I'm going to eat anyway. The weird thing is like usually in a restaurant, I'm craving starters, desserts, or I've got food envy of what's going on around me.
Right.
Whereas I didn't have any of that on Sunday. I was like, yeah, everyone else is like, I think my missus was eating little jam donuts for a dessert.
Mm.
There was brownies next to me. Usually I'll be sitting there going, yeah, I really want that. But unless say I'm dieting and I'm restricting myself from doing it. But the only cravings I got was when I got back home, weirdly. I wanted chocolate, which I haven't wanted in a while. But the actual
Mm.
meal I managed to get through.
Got it.
Maybe the garlic and the chicken made you have a bit of craving for chocolate.
Maybe. It was like half a chicken breast. It's so small. It was like, by the time I put it in my mouth, I was like, there's definitely something on that. But here's what it is.
Restaurants are small portions, really, for guys like you and me too. It's like, I can't eat. I mean, I eat and then I eat when I get home again,
Yeah, especially the
or,
fancy ones.
or I eat before I go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they have the fancy, whatever it is,
Do you know what a weird concept I was thinking about the other day? And it's just like around compared to like how much I'm eating at the moment compared to before. Like, obviously you've got them over in McDonald's. Like, when my old McDonald's orders would be like a Big Mac, 20 nuggets, and 5 selects, and I was never hungry to eat it all. It was like the thought of I want to try everything that I like. I want a bit of everything was like the
Mm.
main thought process I've always had. Like
Yeah.
I've always basically, I was thinking about it. Whenever I go to a restaurant previously, I'd get like 2 or 3 starters and a main course because not because I want to eat that much, but because I want different things on the menu and I wanted to try it all. And like if someone else has ordered something and I like that as well. And I was thinking about it the other day and I was thinking, well, like at what point did I get to a point in my life where I thought it was acceptable to be ordering 4 to 5, 6 dishes when going out, and now all I'm eating is just a breast of meat for dinner? Like the comparison
Right.
is crazy.
Yeah, exactly the same. It was like, especially on a like a takeaway order,
Yeah, everything.
Deliveroo order or something like that, Uber Eats. I would add stuff on to make it over a certain price. And
Okay.
my missus would have like one meal and I'm eating 3 or 4 because you have to get it over 20 quid or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or I'm bolting on like buying a pizza and then they've got a pasta menu. I'm just bolting on a little pasta. I'm doing that.
Do it all the time. I can literally. This is my standard as well. 3 takeaways a week. I was having 4 takeaways a week, and it would be 5 different dishes just because I'd have the fear of missing out on a certain dish if I didn't have it. But there was no way that I needed that food. Like I was just eating it because I didn't want to miss out on it. It was crazy, like how things.
You guys, I mean, this is, it usually resolves, but there could be a little volume eating, 12-step programs and some of internet programs make you weigh and measure food because you can hack not only, it's like a double whammy, especially if you're eating pizza and pasta or something. So, you gorge till you can't eat anymore and you stretch your stomach and your stomach receptors kick in another load of dopamine and endorphins and stuff. About 80% of our folks, that goes away without the necessity of weighing and measuring. And so I'm not a fan of weighing and measuring, but a solid 20% have to eventually, I think at the beginning, for some folks, if they're overeating healthy foods, it's kind of like a little methadone program as long as they're getting off the ultra processed sugar and carbs. But then they can't seem to stop their volume eating, and then they have to weigh and measure. But 80, like I said, 80% just it goes away. But a lot of programs will start you on weighing and measuring, and so it's part of the I don't want to say disease, but it is. It's kind of a learned behavior, whatever.
You're saying you're getting addicted to that kind of feeling really full.
Yeah, well, it almost painfully full. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, like that's like an after I know you guys don't have Thanksgiving, but a holiday meal where there's a lot of everything, and then
I love that feeling after a takeaway when you just sit there on the sofa, you can't move. It's pretty nice.
exactly, it's very nice because it's, a lot of endorphins, a lot of dopamine, a lot of other stuff. So yeah,
I went
it's
to New York, right? And for a weekend. And we were with my like another couple that we're mates with. And they wanted to try all the food places in New York. And I remember going and I'm the type of guy that well before on this diet I can't seem to eat, but I'm the type of guy to try and eat as much as possible. And
yeah,
I need to finish my plate at all times. So I remember eating the American breakfasts, like they're 10 times the size of what we get over here, covered in sugar, covered in like.
yeah,
So I'd eat that, and then I remember coming out of them places thinking I'm absolutely stuffed to the
yeah.
point where I probably didn't need to eat for the rest of the day. And then it would be like lunch, try this burger, try that sort of burger. But I'm not having a mouthful, right? I'm eating a full meal at all times. And it got to a point where I was just laying on the side of this bar, just couldn't consume anything else. That I was so full I had to go home.
Right.
If you're saying there's an addiction to that, that kind of makes sense to me, because if I'm eating food, I eat until I'm like full, and like that full sensation's like big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas now it feels as if my stomach's shrunk and I'm kind of full much quicker. How do you counteract that then?
Well, the only way they've ever found is weighing and measuring. And then there's a struggle to get through it because it's such a change. I don't mention it until people need it because, like I said, the other programs and 12-step programs, they make you, that's one of the, literally buy a scale, bring a scale to restaurants. It's ridiculous, I think. Well, it's not. I mean, it's not for 20% of the people that we work with, but um, it's hard, I mean, it's more isolating than just no flour, no sugar. But
Makes
it's very, very real. I mean, it's sometimes that's people's issue, or
it
one
make
of them.
it makes sense with this diet, Mike, because at the start, my mindset going into this diet, so back at the start of January, was initially it was like eat the right things, but eat as much of it as you want. So that was
Yeah.
like how I started this.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was having substantially large meals. Like I was eating a ton still. Obviously, it was the right stuff, but
Yeah.
I was eating probably the same as I was before the diet, but just in the right stuff. And then
Yeah.
that that sort of it's made sense to me because that sort of made it easier to fall into this diet because now I'm at a point where I'm hardly eating that much. I'm eating like minuscule amounts, to be fair. I'm probably not even eating 1,000 calories a day at the moment, but it's it doesn't feel like I'm having to try and not eat at the moment because I've sort of fallen into it naturally in this process.
Yeah.
But it's good to
Yeah, I think
reflect back on.
hopefully the anchor has been broken. And so the anchor to the combination of volume eating and the hit you get, the dopamine hit you get from the actual sugars and flours, is being broken. And there's relearning natural kind of normal patterns. And one can trigger the other easily, right? So especially like if you're over like volume eating on pizza and pasta, it's like a double whammy. So you're healing from the addiction itself. And it can be from either, can be from the sugar and flour or the volume. But yeah, no, volume eating is very real.
So let's fast forward 6 weeks, right? And the 90 days is up.
Yeah.
What can we incorporate back into our diets? Or is it carry on keto for the rest of our days? Keto or carnivore?
Well, what are you looking to incorporate?
Vegetables.
Yeah, you can test vegetables. It's no problem. But you gotta kind of pay attention if it's going to set up cravings again. If it does, then you can't, But just one at a time, one thing at a time, and one food group at a time, like that.
Because I'm losing weight at a crazy rate. I'm like 144 kilograms, which is close to. I boxed at 136. Lowest I got to was 122.
Yeah.
As soon as I came out of that, because I was so reliant on exercise, as soon as that I finished the exercise, it all started coming back. I'm tempted. I felt really strong in the gym on Sunday, boxing,
Yeah.
and I'm tempted to try and either fight again or my missus will be listening to this.
Hi, Emma.
Not fight again, but yeah, participate in the sport that is boxing.
You're gonna fight again.
I'm tempted to fight again, but yeah, that amount of exercise in my brain is telling me you need some sort of carbs and that sort of stuff, but you're telling me otherwise.
No, you don't. So there's a little bit of worrying about the food going on here. So we need to shift this a little bit to, you know, the process itself, the annoyance with the family, like if there's a discrepancy and like it's starting to be annoying or starting to be difficult at home or at work or at takeout or at restaurants or any of that, to think more about the patterns itself. And then the most important thing, which I keep bothering you about, is like anything that's unusual in worry, fear, anxiety, like that kind of stuff, because you may be, exercising enough to quell that, but sooner or later, we don't want to get done with the 90-day session and not have covered how to walk through whatever the next iteration of your, one of the things you use to numb, or one of the reasons you use food to numb with. And so I want you to, continue to write down stuff in a journal, like the anger, the client, and whatever, how you were feeling. Like, let's take an example, Taylor. Like, how were you feeling when you were sick overall, besides the fact that you were sick?
Just low motivation. I don't know. I can't. Mike, I'm not going to lie to you. I've got a serious disconnection from emotions in my life. I've just disconnected myself to everything that I feel. Like,
Yeah.
I can't put an emotion on how I'm feeling. I can't. I've got like buried demons that I don't think I'll ever get out, but they might come out at some point. Like maybe I need some serious therapy, but I've just got so much I just disassociate myself from anything that sort of would bring up an emotion. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I told you my hungry and horny story, right?
Mm,
The guy gave me a list of emotions and tried to articulate or describe them, A, how they feel, where they're in your body, what happens when you feel them. And I was really, still not, it takes a while. Guys are a little different. Women are a little easier with that part of it, but um, you don't want to fall back into the, do I need boxing? Do I need, food, this food, that food, whatever. That's going to be there, but you got to start accepting or at least trying to identify some of these things that are coming up because you'll find other stuff like boxing, you know what I mean? Like starting to obsess on do I fight or don't I fight? You know what I mean?
mm.
And I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying, like something different will substitute for your mental busyness or your, mental distraction, like a process addiction, like a gambling or a workaholism.
Mine's cold plunges now, Mike.
He's honestly like a seal.
Um,
I've never seen anything like it.
I take my top off, I take my trousers off, I slip on my trunks, and when I slide into that ice cold plunge, I feel at home. I honestly, I have a feeling like this was me in a previous life, like in the ice. Like
Good.
I genuinely sit there and I'm like very content and happy freezing in that water, and then the feeling afterwards amazing.
He's like an orca. It's just
Yeah, let
Elephant
me
seal walker, you name it, I am it.
one of the things that does is this whole breaking the pattern, it's the whole changing from one processing modality to another. And cold plunges raises your baseline dopamine too. A lot of times addicts come out of the womb, could have been their mother's sugar ingestion. Nobody knows exactly why, but their base level dopamine, 88, ADHD folks and like that, they have it too. Their baseline dopamine is a little lower than some people. And cold plunges are really good for raising baseline dopamine, as opposed to like when people need a dopamine detox or a digital detox or whatever, where they stop firing the dopamine. Well, cold plunges raise it like an average of 250%. So you're getting that substitute feeling, but you're aware of it and you can control it. So it's a real positive, I think. So I would, and it's a funny feeling where you said, I feel like I was another lifetime doing that, that you feel comfortable because you are getting that rush,
Yeah. It's euphoric. Doing that with the sauna, like the mix in the both, like so doing sauna into cold plunge, into sauna into cold plunge. We've done it twice now, haven't we, in the last 2 weeks? And I feel like I need it every week now.
Do you like it, Ian?
The first week I was like mid bad stomach. So yeah, I was like a bit cautious of fainting because
Yeah.
I was feeling ill.
Yeah.
Second time, I've done a lot of saunas and I like being in a sauna to the point where your heart's like pounding. And then you come out. And I think I did it on Friday.
45
Okay.
odd minutes he did in the sauna.
Yeah. And then I got in the cold plunge and it felt as if I had like, do you know that kind of like vertigo, weird feeling? And then I came back round and did it again. So
Good.
yeah, it's I do enjoy it. I think it's a great way to just get rid of all the thoughts in your head. I feel immensely less crowded in my brain. And what I usually do is load up all of this like pressure of what I want to do with my life, what I'm doing with work, what I need to do with family, all the problems I've got with family, all the good things that's going on. And at the moment, I'm just in the mindset of getting done. So if I can't tangibly fix it now or get done stuff now, I'm not really interested. And I think that's why I'm getting quite short with clients and stuff like this. If people are wasting my time, and I just get out of the way. I'm on a mission to start moving now. So
Yeah.
I was talking to like a life coach for the last few months, and she was talking about this like rebel energy inside of me. She was just saying, let the rebel out. And I feel that's kind of it's really accentuated this because actually I was being quite cautious with that while she was telling me that. But I'm kind of just like, yeah, let's just get on with it. And
Well, I
it's
love
making everything
that.
clearer.
I love that as a positive, to all of the work that we're doing. Just be a little cautious that you don't substitute it, and you're at the office late or something and other stuff suffers. Just keep an eye on it. That whole whack-a-mole thing or something else would come. But the cold plunge and the sauna back and forth is a wonderful way to make it as even both representative and very physical way to draw a line between your old life and your new life. You know what I mean? Like this is the delineation line, and this is the behavioral change line, as well as if you have been holding back, like you're saying, letting the rebel out. I love that phrase. Good phrase. Do that too, so that you're anchored in now two positive things, the accomplishment stuff. Don't let that, again, be careful, watch that one. I mean, you can get obsessed with cold plunges and do it too much too, but for the most part, this is a good delineation line for new behaviors, change behaviors, new life, literally metamorphosis, butterfly coming out of the cocoon stuff. So, I mean, you guys are about to be, well, you're married, but you guys are about to be in great shape and good jobs in freaking London. It's gonna be like,
You're no libido though, Mike.
yeah, that'll
No
come around.
point being this good looking and not even like having a little go at anything, is it?
It'll come around. It'll come around. Just relax. Just relax. It'll come around. It's just, and then might be in trouble. It might come around too much.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Big horny bear in the office.
Yeah. So no, I'm loving that. I'm loving it. But huh?
How's it all going with you?
It's going good. I just found out I'm gonna have another grandchild. That's pretty wild.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Another sugar-free, another sugar-free baby, or is this going to be?
Oh, they don't give sugar to her. Well, I don't know if it's a brother or sister, but my first grandchild is a boy, and he's never had sugar. He's almost 2.
Yeah, nice.
That's good, you know.
How does
'Cause-
that work with kids? Because if I think about like medicine over here, the cowpoles of the world are just sugar.
yeah, no, they don't get any. They don't know about it. Like my kids, they'd go through the grocery line and the colorful candies right there, and they just started playing with them like blocks because they were colored and pretty. They had no idea what they were. You just don't give it to them, you know. Just don't give it to them.
What about milk? Milk's obviously got sugar in it, but obviously babies have got to live off milk.
Yeah, that's one thing they do give him this the formula, and she's got a big job, so she's not, you know, not nursing at home or anything. So they do give him formula, so that's a
Mm.
little different, but and formula has a lot of you know junky stuff in it, I think. But yeah, but you got to take it as it comes. But yeah, no, it's going well.
I'm fascinated by this kid thing, right? Because if I think about kids' parties, think about kids in general, you always associate them with some sort of sweets or some sort, which is again what you're saying about this like reward mechanism makes total sense from when we were kids and how that's built into your system and body and stuff.
Yeah.
So how did your kids navigate like a school dinner? Like surely there's sugar in that.
Yeah, no, we were always there. We fought with the grandparents and the Montessori schools and the friends' parents. We had to bring their own snacks for parties. We gave in once when they were 6 years old at a roller skating rink, and the music was loud, and both their heads, they're twins. Both of them kind of look up and say, "Can we please this time have it?" Because they felt left out in other parties. We kind of gave in, and one of my mother used to call me a perfect angel, and I'm like, Mom, all mothers call their kid. No, no, really. She said that when you would fall asleep, your hair would get wet and you would have a halo around your pillow. You would be a halo of sweat around your pillow. Well, my kids are 6 years old and they never had that happen. Like I, obviously watched them sleep, checked on them and everything. Never seen that happen. Well, that night after the roller skating rink where they had their first real sugar, I go in there they are, 2 wet heads, a little sweat on the pillow, their whole shirt was wet. My kids were in sugar withdrawals that night. And so it's very real. I mean, the whole thing is very, very real. And when they're between 5 and 6, or before 5 and 6, with the exception of what you're talking about, they just started going to school, and we had to start working on it. And they started being aware of it and being aware that they were a little different at the school where they had their own snacks and whatever. But we kept, then from 6 to like whatever, when they got to high school, they were on their own, but they never had it at home. There was never any dessert, cookies, or anything like that at home. They did have it at outside birthday parties.
Do they
So,
stay off it in their teens and adults?
yeah, they've never picked it up really. I mean, they'll have it, but they're not attracted to as a core coping mechanism. They're not attracted to it. Like, and what's the date today? In 4 days, I'm going to be 40 years sober, alcoholic, and their mother was an alcoholic. And I've never seen them intoxicated, I've never seen them drunk at weddings or their graduation from college or anything. Never seen them, intoxicated. They did, they drank in college, but there was never any trouble, or there's never been any trouble. They're just not attracted to substances as a self-soothing method, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? They're just not, because I believe it was that first 3 or 4 years from the womb, they were not they didn't have any sugar, and they didn't get that rush of dopamine. I don't know if you've ever seen that meme on TV or on the internet where the baby has the ice cream for the first time. You ever seen this thing? So
Maybe.
the baby has the ice cream for the first time, and he licks it, and he's kind of looking at, doesn't have a reaction, and all of a sudden you can see the eyes just get giant. The kid is so small that he wraps both hands around the scoop of ice cream and smashes it into his face and starts eating it.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen another one.
yeah, and if you just look at the kid's eyes when the light, because it goes fast, it can get to the brain really fast from the mouth, or the bloodstream or whatever, and you see the eyes light up, and then you see the action, wow, and they're all the people that are filming it are laughing. It's a funny thing, but it's not funny when you look at the kid. The kid looks pretty damn serious about getting another bit of that ice cream in him, So, yeah, I mean, it really was and is about that training. I'm trying to get this program down to childbearing age women, but all my women are like 45, 50 to 90. All my clients. It's weird.
Oh, it's quite busy at the time, aren't they? When they're raising kids and stuff.
But still, I mean, like they're the ones that want to be the thin after they get pregnant, they don't want to not gain a lot of weight and stuff. My ex-wife had a child before we met, and she gained 60 pounds when she had that baby. When she had my boys, she gained a total of 20 pounds, and 14 of it was baby. There was 2 kids in there. And so, you can tell the difference between the 2 pregnancies of what she was eating. So my mother, same thing. My mother was 100 pounds, soaking wet, and she gained 60 pounds having me. So, I mean, I was a big baby, had a big head, but I wasn't that big.
Yeah, I was a giant baby.
I was 10 pound 4.
I think that's similar to that, yeah.
They snapped my shoulder pulling me out because I didn't fit. So they had to go in there and fold me in half like that to get me out because I was too big of a baby, yeah. And then I've just...
My mother broke her coccyx bone. She had to sit on a rubber ring for 3 months.
To big babies. That could be the title of this pod.
Yeah,
the big babies.
Well, it's been year-on-year growth ever since. So
yeah.
But I've got a hard stop now, Mike.
Yeah, no worries.
I've got to shoot at 10-2.
Okay. Well, yeah, look, guys, you're doing great. Just keep it up. Start keeping an eye on anything that's coming up. I mean, even if you can't recognize it, if you don't know what it is, it's like an amorphous, unable to, like a little blue or a little manically high or depressed or angry or anxious or worried or fearful. Just write it down and bring it to the next time. These are the things we're looking for. These are the next 6 weeks of looking for these things, so we can address them here. And if you bop into one of the meetings on the platform, that will help. You'll see what people are doing. Again, not many guys on the platform, but there are a few now that came in. We had about 100 people come in January, so you might see some guys. There are some guys. There's always some new guys, but it doesn't really matter. The women are, they'll adopt you. They'll love you. So, yeah, keep it up.
Yeah.
All right. Keep up the good work, man.
Cheers,
See you
Mike.
soon.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
We've got some diet plans, health scans, sugar bans, fitness fans, PTs, injuries, laying off the Chinese, ball games, gym chains, protein gains and skin tight tops, and we ain't gonna stop until we hit the 50k. Drop, 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 drop. No excess fat, no FAT, no curry bag, no guarantee. Rough or buff, lean on me. We'll end up as fit as a bear.